glad you could make it, Dad.
Oh, it's great to get out to the country from time to time, Karen. What a summer. I don't remember it being this hot when I was a kid. And speaking of kids, where are my favorite grandchildren?
They're downstairs in the playroom, trying to stay cool. Lizzie, Jason, turn off the Sega Saturn and come say hello to Grandpa. I'm not going to say it again.
Oh, I've missed you, Karen.
I'm hungry. Did you start the grill yet?
Not yet. We'll eat in about an hour.
Hey, how's my boy?
Oh, I'm good. My team won the series this summer.
You did? Good for
It was
you.
great. The last game was going back like this.
Yeah?
and the ball
Did you
came
catch it?
out. Yeah!
Lindsay! Oh, boy, you've gotten so big. Where does the time go? Oh, my goodness.
Dad, when I was in the shed looking for supplies for the cookout, I found this in storage. I thought you might like to have it.
Where is it, Mommy?
I think I'll let Grandpa tell you about it. For now, let's just say that some of this is even older than I am. Why don't you stay here in the living room where it's cool until I'm done grilling? That'll give you a little time to visit before the attack of the killer sprinklers. Have fun.
Jason, bring that box over here. Let's see what we've got.
What is all this junk? What is it? I want to see it too. Whatever it is sure smells funny.
Well, I suspect what you smell is the scent of time gone by. Why, these are Billy's things. Your great-uncle Bill was a wonderful man. When I was young, I looked up at him like he was a hero. He and your great-aunt Doris never had any children of their own, and he passed away just before you were born, Jason. Look, here's his picture from World War II. Wasn't he a handsome fellow?
I like his hat. Hey, Grandpa, look, here it is. Hey,
What's that?
What's this, Grandpa?
Oh, that was Bill's Medal for Bravery in the war. Boy, this box sure brings back memories. You know, there hasn't been such an age of optimism before or since. Saturday night USO shows, service flags in every window, victory bonds, and the music. All the entertainers that brought us hope over the airwaves and tried to lift our spirits and raise our morale.
Were you in the army, Grandpa?
No, honey, but not for lack of trying. In 1941, my family moved to New York City from a little town upstate. My brother and I were both too young for the service, but Bill was going to try to get in anyway. Naturally, I tagged along. New York City was a fabulous place to be when we were young and surrounded by a spirit of patriotism. It seemed like every city street corner was a jumpin' and a jivin' with the sights and the sounds of a crazy wartime rhythm. Hey, We've got one day here without a minute to see the famous sights. We'll find the romance and danger waiting in it. We need the Broadway lights, but we never on our chests, so when we recommend our rides. Sights, lights, sights, New York, New York, a hell of a sound. The Bronx is up and the battery's down, and people ride in a hole in the ground. New York, New York, it's a hell of a town. New York, New York, a visitor's place, where no one lives on account of the pace, and 7 million are screaming for space. New York, New York, it's a visitor's place. Manhattan women are dressed in silk and satin, or so the fellas say. There's just one thing that's important in Manhattan. When you just have one day, gotta pick up a date, maybe 7 or 8 on your way. In just one day, New York, New York, a little town. The Bronx is up and the battery's down, and people ride in the hole in the ground. New York, New York, it's a hell of a
Garrison, sir, age 27. Is this where you signed up for the service?
It sure is, young man. And we need good, strong, enthusiastic men just like you. Here, take these papers, file through those doors, and give them to the officer inside. He'll show you where to get your physical, and your Uncle Sam welcomes you privately. Next.
Bill Thompson, age 18. I'm thrilled to be here, sir.
Wait, turn on the radio. It's the president.
Suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan, very many American lives have been lost. Always will our whole nation remember the character of the onslaught against us. No matter how long it may take to overcome this premeditated invasion, the American people in their righteous might will win through to absolute victory. We will not only defend ourselves to the uttermost, but will make it very certain that this form of treachery shall never again endanger us. We will gain the inevitable triumph. So help us God. I ask that the Congress declare a state of war.
We need you now more than ever. Here, take these papers through the doors, and your Uncle Sam welcomes you private.
Thompson. Yes, sir.
Thompson. Yes. Right. Next. State your name and your age.
Jack Thompson. I'm 18.
18. Well, Mr. Thompson, I know you want to follow in your brother's footsteps, but I think it's time for you to go back to school.
Oh, no, sir. I want to do my part for this country. There's a star-spangled banner waving somewhere in a distant land so many miles away. Only Uncle Sam's great hero get to go there, where I wish that I could also live someday. I'd see Lincoln, Custer, Washington, and Perry, and Nathan Hale, and Colin Kelly too. There's a star-spangled banner waving somewhere, waving o'er the land of heroes brave and true. In this war with its masses of destruction of our country fair and our sweet liberty, by the mad dictators, leaders of corruption, can't the U.S. use a mountain boy like me? Let me show my Uncle Sam what I can do, sir. Let me help to bring the axes out to dry. There's a star-spangled banner waving somewhere. That is where I want to live when I die.
We need strong men here on the home front. We need educated men to keep this country going. So it's time for you to run along. Oh, no, you don't. It's back to school with you.
Wow, I bet you were upset.
Well, I was at first, but I stayed on in New York and I started school. My brother was stationed there, so I saw him frequently. And you know that sergeant was right. There was plenty for us to do right here on the home front. There were defense stamps to buy and scrap metal to collect. Why, even the classroom became a scene for victory propaganda.
Good morning, class.
Good morning, Miss Cooper.
Running a little late this morning, Mr. Thompson.
I'm sorry, Miss Cooper. My brother Bill went to the service this morning. It won't happen again.
Okay.
I picked this up for you on the way here.
Thank you. Please take your seat. Will everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please take your seats. Yes, Margaret.
Last night, the lights were out everywhere. My mother told me it was a part of what we need to do for victory. Is that true, Miss Cooper?
Yes, that is true. It's for both victory and safety.
Miss Cooper,
Yes, Dinah.
if the lights go out again tonight, it might be too dark to do our homework.
That's enough now, Dinah. Our nation is at war now, children, and we must do everything in our heart to support the war effort. How are we doing on our scrap metal drive, Jack?
We have filled almost 14 boxes.
Great! Do I have any volunteers to take the boxes to the collection center after school?
I'll do it. I can carry two. Oh, we get to see the soldiers. I'm strong enough. I want to do it too.
Well, with that kind of support, our boys will be home before we know it. What's wrong now, Susan?
My uncle joined the army yesterday, and I'm happy he's going to be fighting to make our world free. But I'm scared that I won't see him again for a long time.
I know how you feel. My fiance Joe is in the army, and he's going off to fight for the red, white, and blue, and I'm really going to miss him. But we have to be strong and let the hope in our hearts overcome our sadness. I know. Why don't you lead the class in prayer for victory?
While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful
Susan. It won't be long before our boys are home. Until then, it's up to all of us to do our part.
For America.
Yes, for America. Okay, class, we're going to start off today's lesson with arithmetic.
Miss Cooper,
Yes, Dinah?
is 2 plus 3 always going to be 5?
That's correct.
Then why do we have to keep on practicing?
That's enough now, Dinah. Children, please take out your books and open to page...
Look out, Miss Cooper!
Dinah, if I have to speak to you again, you'll be staying after
really,
class.
look out!
Oh my goodness, what is this? I only know of one person who could be responsible for this. Joseph Martin, what do you think you're doing here? Class is in session.
Well, I'm sorry, Miss Cooper, but I couldn't help myself. Look, this is the only time off from training I could get, and baby, I just had to see you.
Oh, the children.
Oh, well, excuse me, kids. You don't mind a quick break from your studies, do you?
Mr. Martin, it seems to me that you have a lot to learn about how a soldier conducts himself in front of our country's impressionable youth.
Oh, me? Well, what have I done wrong?
Joe, how could you do
Oh, come on.
Don't throw bouquets at me. Don't please my folks too much. Don't laugh at my jokes too much. People will say we're in love. Don't sigh and gaze at me. Your sighs are so like mine. Your eyes mustn't glow like mine. People will say we're in love. Don't start collecting things. Give me my rose and my glove. Sweetheart, they're suspecting things. People will say we're in love.
Some people claim that you are to blame as much as I. Why do you take the trouble to bake my favorite pie? Granting a wish, I carved our initials on the tree. Just keep a slice of all the advice you give. So free, don't praise my charm too much. Don't look so vain with me. Don't stand in the rain with me. People will say we're in love. Don't take my arm too much. Don't keep your hand in mine. Your hand feels so grand in mine. People will say we're in love. Oh, don't dance all night with me till the stars fade from above. They'll see it's all right with me. People will say we're in love. Okay. So what if they do, huh? It's true, isn't it?
I refuse to answer that on the grounds that I may incriminate myself.
Oh. Did you say I've got a lot to learn?
Oh, yeah.
Well, don't think I'm trying not to learn, since this is the perfect spot to learn. Teach me tonight, starting with the ABC of it, right down to the XYZ of it. Help me solve the mystery of it. Teach me tonight. The sky's a blackboard high above you, till a shooting star goes by. I'll use that star to write I love you. 1,000 times across the sky. One thing isn't very clear, my love. Should the teacher stand so near, my love? Graduation's almost here, my love. Teach me tonight. Well, so, Miss Kate, is it a date?
Joseph, if you don't leave my class right now, I'm going to go.
Solid. I'll meet you in Central Park after school, huh? So long, kids.
Okay, class. Where were we?
I understand something.
What is it, Lindsay?
What were you collecting metal for?
Oh, well, see, metal was scarce because the Army needed it for weapons and ammunition. So we school kids collected anything that we could use to recycle for the war effort. And there were rations on things too, like coffee and cigarettes, even sugar.
Did you have to drink your tea with NutraSweet? Dummy.
Oh, come on, Jason.
NutraSweet in the olden days.
Jason, how would she know? Besides, despite the hardships of war, there were some wonderful things about the 40s, or the old days, as you call them. Good old-fashioned romance blossomed in every Central Park flower. It was a wonderful time to be young, happy, and in love.
I told my mother, I told my father, and now I'm telling you too. I'm sure of mother, I'm sure of father, now I want to be sure of you. Don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me, anyone else but me, anyone else but me. No, 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 just remember that I've been true to nobody else but you. You must be true to me. Don't go walking down Lover's Lane with anyone else but me, anyone else but me, anyone else but me. No, 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 just no showing off all your charms, somebody else's arms. You must be true to me. I'm so afraid that the plans we made underneath those moonlit skies will fade away, and you're bound to stray if the stars get in your eyes. Oh, don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me. You're my L.O.V. So, darling, do we have a deal?
Cross my heart. I'll be waiting at the dock the minute your ship sails into the harbor.
I don't know, it's going to be tough while I'm away, Rosie. Beautiful girl like you. I know a lot of guys that would give up just about anything just for one little kiss. I mean, what would you do if somebody asked you out for a Coke?
Oh, Frank, you're being so silly. You know I only have eyes for you.
What if he brought you flowers?
Frank,
Or candy? What if he wanted to take you out dancing?
not a chance.
Even if he looked like Robert Taylor?
Well, in that case...
See, I knew it.
Frank, you are being ridiculous. Even if I wanted to have some sordid affair, who could I possibly find to have it with? You'll march away and leave this town as empty as can be. I can't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me. For there is no secret lover that the draft board didn't discover. They're either too young or too old. They're either too gray or too grassy green. The pickings are poor and the crop is lean. What's good is in the army, the rest will never
one romance I'm sure you will allow. He tried to serenade me, but his voice is changing now. I'm finding it easy to stay good as gold. They're either too young or too old. I'll never, never fail ya when you are in Australia, or off in the Aleutians, or off among the Russians. While flying over Egypt, your heart'll never be gypped. And when you get to India, I'll still be what I've been to ya. I've looked the field over, and lo and behold, they're either too young or too old. So you see, Frank, you've got nothing to worry about. Just come home safely. I'll be right here waiting for you.
I don't know, Rosie. I got one more question.
Frank, what do I have to say to get you to believe me?
A simple yes will do.
Oh, Frank.
If all the young men went off to war, who's left to do all the work here in America?
Well, who do you think?
The women! Oh, come on.
She's right, you know, Jason. There was a tremendous effort to get women into the workplace. They took all the jobs that were left vacant by the soldiers and the sailors. Why, without their hard work in all of our factories and stores, our country just wouldn't have been the same.
Mommy works hard, too.
She certainly does. She wants the best for her wonderful children.
This war stuff is boring. Don't you have any stories about the fun stuff you did in New York as a kid?
Jason, I was a devil when I was a lad. I used to sneak out on Saturday nights to the USO. They had hot shows, jukeboxes, girls, and the dancing. And it wasn't this Macarena stuff you're doing. You should have seen those hep killer dillers cut a rug.
Oh, honey, I'll make it up to you, I promise. When this war's over, we'll go dancing every night. But right now, I haven't even got out of basic training, and I'm so sore, I feel like 100 Axis tanks rolled all over my body.
Hey, Betty. Hi, Lou. Is the guy over there? Me and your company?
Yeah, he joined the same time I did. He's a real good kid, Doris. Bill's his name. Bill Thompson.
Don't look at him. He'll know I'm talking about him. I can't believe he asked me to dance with him. He looks so dreamy in his uniform.
You see? He's in good enough shape to take a girl dancing.
Oh, look, Betty, Why don't you take Doris and get some cokes? Here, it's on me, okay?
Hey, Lou, how's the Army treating you?
Like a piece of rawhide in a dog's mouth. And the Navy?
Not too bad. I dig the perks.
The perks?
Well, everything around here seems pretty perky. Well, hello there, sweetheart. How about showing a sailor what he's gonna miss while he's overseas?
Oh, dry up.
Wow, and she's feisty, too. Gee, I sure would like to take her out later, but, I'm flat broke. Lou, did I ever tell you what a great pal you are?
Oh, no.
Do me a favor, Lou. Lend me $50.
Sorry, pal, I can't. I can't loan you $50.
Oh, yes, you can.
No, I can't. All I got is 40, that's all.
Okay, then give me $40.
Okay.
Now you owe me 10.
All right. Why need 10?
Well, what did I ask you for?
50.
And how much did you give me?
40.
So, you owe me $10.
Well, yeah, but you owe me $40.
Now, don't go changing the subject.
I'm not changing the subject. You're trying to change my finances. Now give me back my $40.
All right, here's your $40. Now, give me the 10 that you owe me.
I'm paying you on account.
On account.
Yeah, on account. I don't know how I owe it to you.
If that's the way you feel about it, that's the last time I'll ever ask you for a loan of $50.
Well, pal, how can I loan you $50? All I got is 30.
Okay, then give me $30. Now you owe me 20.
This is getting worse at the time. First I owe him 10, now I owe him 20.
Well, why do you run yourself into debt?
I'm not running, you're pushing me!
I can't help it if you can't handle your finances. I do all right with my money.
Do all right with mine, too.
Hey, now wait a minute. I asked you for a loan of $50, so you gave me $30, so you owe me $20. 30 and 20 make 50.
Oh, no. 25 and 25 is 50.
All right, here's your $30. Now give me back the 20 that you owe me. You're a fine pal. Won't lend a friend $50.
Well, how can I loan you 50 when all I got now is 10?
Listen, to show you I'm your pal, you want to double that?
Oh, no, here you go. See you later. Bye.
No, I don't want that kind of money. On the up and up. All right, take a number. Any number at all between 1 and 10, and don't tell me what it is.
Got it.
Is the number odd or even?
Even.
Is it between 1 and 3?
No.
Is it between 3 and 5?
No, I think I got him.
Is it between 5 and 7?
Yeah.
Number 6?
Yeah.
We've all been waiting for. Here's a gal who can heat up any barracks in the iciest of winters. Back from her U.S. tour of Europe. Let's bring her around with a round of applause. The one, the only, Marlena!
Hello, boys. Lots of want to celebrate. Too much time on the boat? Maestro. She is called the queen of the town canteen. Oh, the soldiers love her so. But when someone tries to kiss her, she always tells them no. Her laugh said, wait for me, Marlena. Hide your heart away. Wait for me, Marlena. Oh, it's
except you and me. So set 'em up, Joe. I've got a little story you ought to know. We're drinking, my friend, to the end of a brief episode. Make it one for my baby and one more for the road. I got the routine, so drop another nickel in the machine. My mama done told me I'm feeling so bad. I wish you'd make the music dreamy and sad. A woman of sweet talk could tell you a lot, but you got to be true to your cause. Make it one for my baby and one more for the road. You never know it, but buddy, I'm a kind of poet, and I've got a lot of things to say. And when I'm gloomy, you simply gotta listen to me until it's talked away. Well, that's how it goes. And Joe, I know you're getting anxious to close. So thanks for the cheer. I hope you didn't mind my bend in your ear. This torch that I found must be drowned or it soon will explode. Make it one for my baby and one more for the road. That long, long road.
Attention, can I have everyone's attention, please? Men attached to the following units will report back to their posts immediately following tonight's show. All men from the 15th Infantry Army, Company B, and all naval personnel from the USS Carrier Yorktown will prepare to report for duty in the morning at 0800 hours.
I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places that the smart of mine embraces all day through. In that small cafe
played a cap, and out and drafted a band, and now the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy, company B. A toot, a toot of the attitude. He blows an 8 to the bar. In boogie rhythm, he can't play a note unless the bass and guitar is playing rhythm. He makes the company jump when he plays reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy, company B. He is some boogie woogie bugle boy, company B. And when he plays boogie woogie bugle, he's busy as a buzzy bee. And when he plays makes the company jump an 8 to the bar. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy, company B. Da 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 da. Doot doot, he blows an 8 to the bar. He can't play a note unless the bass and guitar is playing with him. He makes the company jump when he plays reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy, company B. He puts the boys to boogie every night and wakes them up the same way in the early bright. They clap their hands and bend their feet because you know how he plays. He seldom gives them a beat. He really breaks it up when he plays reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy, company B. A toot, a toot of the attitude. He blows an 8 to the bar. In boogie rhythm, he can't play a note unless the bass and guitar is playing with him. And the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy, company B.
Oh, do we have to? I thought you were hungry.
I think he's probably more hungry for nostalgia.
Grandpa was telling us stories about the olden days.
Well, the food is getting cold, and I grilled some chicken, especially for picky eaters.
I get a drumstick. No, I want one.
Relax, the bird has 2 legs. Dad, aren't you hungry?
Oh, I'll be along in a minute, Karen. I'm just really wrapped up in another time.
Dad, you are incorrigible.
She had you worried, but this is war, and she won't worry you anymore. This is the army.
Dad, I'm so glad you could come out to Milltown tonight. The kids won't stop talking about your stories. Whenever I tell them things about when I was younger, it's always big deal.
Well, maybe you're just not old enough to be interesting.
Grandpa, Lindsay keeps pretending to be a soldier. Don't let only boys could be soldiers.
Weren't there women's divisions in the Army and Navy?
Well, sure, the Army had the WACs, and shortly after that, the Navy created the Waves. Lots of girls joined.
Dad, you mean women.
Oh, right, women.
You didn't finish your story. You said you'd tell us more after we were done eating.
Well, let's see now. Where were we?
The soldiers and the sailors were going off to war.
Oh, right.
In 1917, drove the tyrants from the sea.
We hope there be no other war, but since we are forced into one, the flag that we are fighting for is the red and white.
age, I had a really glorified picture of what Army life was like. It wasn't until I started getting letters home from Bill that the realities of war really hit me.
Uncle Bill was such a kind man. I still remember some things he told me about the war when I was a little girl.
You know, it was those letters that told us the real story of life as a soldier. In them were updates on people we knew and loved. Who was coming home on leave, some boys who wouldn't come home again, who was injured or missing in action. But through it all, it stirred an even greater commitment to our country. We felt that we were spreading freedom to the four corners of the earth.
You are about to embark upon the great crusade toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. You will bring about the destruction of the German war machine, the elimination of Nazi tyranny over the oppressed peoples of Europe, and security for ourselves in a free world.
Thanks, General. You know, right now, man, I don't feel much like a hero. This is the G.I. Jive, man alive. It starts with a bugle blow and reveille over your bed when you arrive. Jack, that's the G.I. Jive. Roodly toot, jump in your suit, make a salute. Woot! After you wash and dress, more or less, you go get your breakfast from a beautiful little cafe they call the Mess. Jack, when you convalesce, out of your seat, into the street, make with your feet, reach. If you're PVT, your duty is to salute the L-I-U-T. But if you brush the L-I-E-U-T, the MP makes a KP on the QT. This is the G.I. Jive, man alive. They give you a private tank that features a little device called Fluid Drive. Jack, after you revive, chunk all your junk back in your trunk, fall on your bunk, clunk. Counting sheets, but before you count to 5, well, you're right back doing that G.I. jive. That jive.
Private Martin. This one has pictures of.
Oh, it's from Kate and the kids.
The kids? Kate and Nabby's while you've been gone?
All the kids in her class.
Private Garrison. Private Garrison. And last but not least, Private Thompson.
Who's it from?
All I can say is the handwriting is awfully pretty.
Doris. She didn't forget about me. The sky may be starless, the night may be moonless, but deep in my heart there's a glow. For deep in my heart I know that you love me because you told me so. Love letters straight from your heart keep us so near while apart. I'm not alone in the night.
I kiss the name that you sign. And darling, then I read again right from the start. Love letters straight from your heart.
Yes, sir. Please. Private Garrison, are you waiting for a special invitation? This is the Army, not a four-star hotel. Get up. 5 more minutes? I'll give you 5 more hours of KP duty. Report to the kitchen. Report to that mess hall after you clean yourself up.
Why do they call it a mess hall?
A bugler in the Army is the luckiest of men. He wakes the boys at 5 and then goes back to bed again. He doesn't have to blow again until the afternoon. If everything goes well with me, I'll be a bugler soon. Oh, how I wish to get up in the morning. Oh, how I'd love to remain in bed. For the hardest blow of all is to hear the bugler call. You gotta get up, you gotta get up, you gotta get up this morning. Oh boy, the minute the battle is over. Oh boy, the minute the foe is dead. I'll pack my uniform away and move to Philadelphia and spend the rest of my life in bed. Oh, how I hate to get up in the morning. Oh, how I love to remain in bed. But the hardest blow of all is to hear the bugler call. You gotta get up, you gotta get up, you gotta get up this morning. Someday I'm going to murder the bugler. Someday they're going to find him dead. I'll amputate his reveille and step upon it heavily and spend the rest of my life in bed.
There's a bee! Look out! I'll get it for you, yeah.
Hey, Darlene, I know the cozy little place down at the naval base where you and
Give it up,
I-
buddy. My answer is the same in any country.
Well, you can't blame me. It was worth a shot. Have you seen Luke?
He's got a date with a...
We're landlocked for the day. We're hoping that Luke could get free for an hour.
Man, these guys got it great. Dry clothes, warm bumps,
Pretty women.
I'll bet they even have decent food.
They deserve it. You should see how hard our Army boys work. They are truly an inspiration to our country.
Hey, what do we, chop sirloin?
The army this, the army that, that's all we've heard from where we sat. So how about a cheer for the Navy? The army's great, the army's tough, and don't you think we've heard enough? So how about a cheer for the Navy?
We know that Mr. Stinson is solid as a rock, but how about an orchid or Secretary Knox?
The army may be in the room, but Walter Winchell won't approve unless you give a cheer for the Navy. Hip, hooray, we haven't come home to stay, so how about a bouquet for the Navy?
One word of cheer, let it flow from our lips. One word and we'll go back to our roots.
Hip, hooray, the army has had its day. We're letting it get away with the gravy. Just let them know that an army show could never be a hit without the Navy.
Can you miss Bill?
Well, of course, honey, we all missed our friends and family. Praying for their safe return became part of our daily routine. You see, even though the war was over there in Europe and Japan, it was truly right here in our hearts and minds as well. We all made changes in our daily routines in hopes of ending the war sooner. It was just that joining together that helped us all through the toughest times.
chosen to die either. You can, by your actions, save the lives of some men who might otherwise die because you let the war last too long. In fairness to them, you cannot complain or waste or shirk in the name of God and your fellow man.
That's right.
So wear it up, wear it out, make it do or do it out. It's time to make your personal commitment to victory.
That's right.
It costs a lot to bring a hero home.
Hey everybody, let's get ready to buy Victory Bonds! Buy a Victory Bond, buy a Victory Bond. And we'll soon be victory bound. Every bond that you buy counts a fire in the eye. On the sea, in the sky, on the ground. If you're a Yankee Doodle dandy, better get your money handy, and the man you will get is just deserved. Let's be victory bound. Buy a Victory Bond, and we'll hit them where it hurts. Buy a Victory Bond, buy a Victory Bond. Defend this land we love. Every bond that you buy comes a guy in the sky. From a bomb, from a plane up above. Your every dime, every dollar's gonna make the actors holler. Get the line behind the man behind the gun. Let's be victory bound. Buy a Victory Bond with a victory bond.
Extra, extra! U.S. Navy turns the tide in Battle of Midway. 4 Japanese carriers destroyed. You got me? I'll take one. Me too. Are there any pictures? Any real news? Read it aloud.
Okay, you read it. I don't have my glasses.
The United States declares a full-fledged victory today in the Pacific in the Battle of Midway. American and Allied naval forces destroyed 4 Japanese aircraft carriers that just may make the way for victory. America mourns the loss of the USS carrier Yorktown. Oh no.
Yorktown.
Jim's
on that ship. Go on.
What does it say?
Oh, Anne, they're still searching for survivors. Anything is possible.
Oh, Jim, hurry home. I'm still waiting for you.
Now, dear, you've got to be brave. Jim needs you to be brave. You've got to keep on fighting. We're all here for you.
I can't. It's just too hard.
No, shh. Nothing is certain in war. Just hold on tight to your hope. No matter how dark the clouds, we'll walk every step by your side. When you walk through a storm, keep your chin up high, and don't be afraid of the dark.
the ship going down? Rations on everything, blackouts nearly every night. How do you manage to keep that smile on your face?
Taking stock of what I have and what I haven't. What do I find? The things I've got will keep me satisfied.
Taking stock of what you have and what you haven't. What do you find?
A healthy balance on the credit side. Got no diamond, got no pearl. Still I think I'm a lucky girl. I got the sun in the morning and the moon at night. Got no mansion, got no yacht. Still I'm happy with what I've got. I got the sun in the morning and the moon at night. Sunrise gives me a lovely day. Moonlight gives me the Milky Way. Got no checkbooks, got no banks. Still I'd like to express my thanks. I got the sun in the morning and the moon at night. And with the sun in the morning and the moon in the evening, I'm all right.
Well, let's see. I was 13 when it started, and I was just finishing up high school when it ended.
Wow, that's a long time. What did you guys do for the holidays with everybody missing and all?
I'm sure it was difficult.
Well, Christmas was especially hard on the children. Not only were the families separated, but toys were scarce, especially those with metal like sleds and bicycles. Still, even the war couldn't spoil our holiday spirit.
Thank you and good evening, everyone. You're listening to WOZ on this cozy Christmas Eve, 1944. Victory time is 8:10.
Ladies and gentlemen, our featured vocalist tonight, our own Johnny Rich.
I'm dreaming tonight of a place I love, even more than I usually do. And although I know it's a long road back, I promise you I'll be home for Christmas. You can count on me. Please have snow and mistletoe and presents under the tree.
win. You're somebody when you're a whack. Join now. And now for WOZ weather, here is Gertrude Baker.
Well, it seems that those to whom Christmas and snow are synonymous are doomed to disappointment. Christmas Day will be fair, turning colder, but not a sign of snow.
Girls, it's time to go to bed. Santa won't bring presents for naughty young ladies.
Mommy, will you show me where Daddy is again? I want to say goodnight to him.
Nancy, bring me the globe. You see right here, this little bit of green? Daddy is there trying to make our world free again.
I miss him so much.
Me too. Now off to bed before Santa sees you awake and passes this house right by.
Mommy, how do you know Santa doesn't have any sleds this year? I thought I could make anything. I'll tell you what, Kathy. You could have my old sled. And I'll pull you the whole way through Central Park the minute there's snow on the ground. So let's go to bed now so Santa can bring us the other things on our list. Good night, Mother.
Good night, my darlings. Pleasant dreams. Dear Stan, there's a full moon in a deep clear sky that is chilly and bright. I think you may be looking up at the same sky and hearing planes going overhead by the thousand. Never has good weather meant so much for our side, but the news is better. I am thinking of you so constantly that you seem nearer by the minute. We all sat in front of the tree tonight listening to the radio. Nancy was on the couch in the parlor in her nightie looking angelic. Catherine was tired and muted, but as always full of questions. The hope of mankind rests in such little children, the young flesh, the pure flesh, the believing flesh. I thought of many years ahead of just such nights, Christmas Eve, when our children will fall asleep with new toys and you and I will linger by the fire discussing the children, the day, the future, the past. Will we talk of these Christmases apart, or will they fade into a dream of nothingness? How little 1944 has given me of you, 10 days, and 1945 will give me nothing. Perhaps 1946 will do a better job, or is it 1947? You never speak to me enough of the future. Tell me what you will say when we meet again.
You know, folks, this program is being transcribed for a special broadcast abroad. While we're on the subject of Christmas, let's not forget about ice cream. No, no. Before that holly deck clock strikes another chime, rest an Eskimo pie between your lips. Eskimo pie. And leading drugstores and confectionaries everywhere. And now, here's Gertrude with the news.
Thank you, Tom. The somber overtones of war hung heavy over this Christmas Eve as President Roosevelt led the nation in observances this holiday festival. In gatherings at home and church alike, fervent echoes were heard of the President's prayer for a new day of peace on earth. On the eve of this fourth wartime Christmas, people heard the war news, and it offered reassurance after an anxious week. And the grim realities of war were leavened by the spirit of Christmas that not even the war could damp. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you, Gertrude. And thank you all for tuning in on this chilly New York Christmas Eve. For many of us, the best Christmas present in the world would be to have our loved ones back home. So, let's give it our all and get this over by Christmas of 1945. This is Tom Bryant saying bye-bye and bye-bye.
Sweetheart, will you turn off the radio and bring me the plate for Santa? What if Santa doesn't like apples, Mama?
Oh, Santa knows there's a war going on. He'll appreciate any snack we can give him.
Mama, I put sugar on my Christmases just for you.
Oh, Ruth, with all you girls, I have children so sweet I don't need the extra sugar.
Why, Linda? You haven't written a thing on your list. Surely you want Santa to bring you something.
I don't want a Christmas present, Francis. All I want is for my daddy to come home.
Soon, Linda. Keep your eyes on the horizon. There'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover tomorrow. Just you wait and see. There'll be love and laughter and peace ever after tomorrow when the world is free. The shepherd will tend his sheep, the valley will bloom again, and Jimmy will go to sleep in his own little room again. There'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover tomorrow when the world is free.
Francis, Mary's having trouble writing what she wants. Do you think Santa would mind if I wrote her list for her?
I think he would mind even more if you didn't, right, Mother?
Mary, darling, tell Ruth what she wants so she can write it down.
I'll bet she wants a pretty dolly.
What about a new skipping rope? Maybe a velvet dress?
Mary, what do you want?
Perhaps you'd be better off trying the Tooth Fairy.
The winter of 1944-45 was tough on everybody. Still, with each passing day, more hopeful news arrived from abroad. Spring, though promised in every rain shower, seemed like it was just out of reach.
January and February were never so empty and gray. Tragically, I feel like crying. Without you, my darling, I'm dying. But let's rather put it this way. Spring will be a little late this year, a little late arriving in my lonely world over here. For you have left me, and where is our April of old? You have left me, and winter continues cold, as if to say spring will be a little slow to start, a little slow
York found rebirth in those first breaths of spring, the whole population was on pins and needles in anticipation.
Can you imagine so many years away from your family?
Mommy, I miss you if I go over my friend's house for a sleepover.
I remember that last letter we got from Bill. He was about to start a new journey, and this one would lead him home.
Gonna take a sentimental journey. Gonna set my heart at ease. Gonna take a sentimental journey to renew all memories. I got my bag, I got my reservation, spending time I could afford. Like a child in wild anticipation, long to hear that all aboard. 7, that's the time we leave at 7. I'll be waiting up for heaven, counting every mile of railroad track that takes me back. God to know the times of me so yearning. How will I decide to roam? Gotta take the sentimental journey home.
Dear Joe, the kids at school said a special prayer for you today. I have plans for a private lesson when you return. Hurry home. Love, Kate.
Rosie, darling, we've taken back Manila from the Japanese. Can't be much longer now. I can almost taste that blueberry pie you promised. Love, Frank.
Dear Lou, don't let my Betty fool you. She loves you more than anything. She hasn't been out a single night since you left. Take it from a mother who knows. Just come back quickly. We can't plan a wedding without you. Love, Gertrude.
Never thought my heart
And then finally,
Extra, extra, the war in Europe is ended. Surrenders are unconditional. Truman proclaims the flags of freedom fly over Europe.
Symphony to dawn.
What a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine heading my way. Symphony to dawn, symphony. Everything is satisfactory. Symphony to dawn, symphony. Wonderful feeling, wonderful day. It's the truth. Everything is satisfactory. Symphony to dawn, symphony. Wonderful feeling, wonderful day.
when VE Day was proclaimed, the whole city of New York, a spontaneous celebration. Times Square was full of crowds of cheering Americans. Does your mommy let you stay up that late? I guess you did pay attention in your history class, Karen. Yes, it was a few months later before VJ was proclaimed, but you know, those first days in May started a wonderful homecoming celebration. It was quite a homecoming.
Gee, it seems like the 40s. It's one big roller coaster ride.
Well, it was, Jason, but I'm convinced there was only one thing that helped us get through it all.
What's that?
Optimism.
You've got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, don't mess with Mr. In Between. You've got to spread joy up to the maximum, bring gloom down to the minimum, have faith or pandemonium liable to walk up on the scene.